So, let's get to it. Okay, so that past quest I just did took longer than the 30 minutes, and so rather than show you guys showing myself hacking away at the Ceadeus for 30 minutes with no real end reward, I'm going to go ahead and actually try a better armor and weapon set combination. As you probably saw last time, I just threw together whatever I had. This time I actually put together a set that is fairly effective against Ceadeus. I used a combination of Legiacrus armor with the baggy mail and just a 2-slot charm talisman, and I was able to put on Olympic Swimmer, Focus, and Elemental Attack up, which is pretty much one of the more useful sets we're going to need against the guy. Moving around is a lot more essential this time, rather than just using a bowgun and firing at him from range, so Swimmer's going to help. As for damage, Focus is going to help most overall in terms of landing the level 3 charges, and Elemental Attack up just because it's there with Olympic Swimmer. Otherwise, I did upgrade the Legiacrus Greatsword just a little bit. I was able to pull out a Luminous Organ, I think, at one point. So we're going to go ahead and use that slight upgrade. You normally can't have this. The other upgrade usually available is, I believe, the Y upgrade, the yellow upgrade, which increases affinity, which isn't that big of a deal when you compare it to just getting a straight-up raw boost. So we're going to go ahead and eat again. I think we'll just do the attack. Oh, and I should probably go through my items again. I'm sure I need to put on some new items. Yeah. Okay, you can see I actually did break off the horn. You saw a crooked horn there. So this time he'll be a little bit weaker, which is good. I don't particularly know why I have antidotes. That's bizarre. But I mean, I guess all we really need are those. Maybe some max potions and an ancient potion just for fun. And we want might seeds. And dragonfell berries just in case we get body slammed or something like that. I'm a little confused. I don't know why I have all these other things on me. I think that'll be it, other than the mega air filters. Okay. Alright then. And you can see the quest is actually not considered cleared until you actually kill him. Alright, and something else we'll kind of benefit from is the fact that I'll be able to show off the shortcut that opens up. It's not a big deal, but it's nice for people to actually see it. Then I guess I'll actually be able to cram in the map this time around. And I actually really like the way the red Legiacrus sword looks. The little accent of red on it is pretty decent. You can see I've already done a fairly decent amount of damage to him. He's already missing his horn. And I don't, his beard's been trimmed a little bit. I don't think I've broken his tail yet, though. And actually, his tail is one of the more vulnerable spots on his body. Oh, you can see his back's broken. Now, his tail actually takes a fairly decent amount of raw damage and thunder damage. So it's worth aiming at. And Swimmer just really helps underwater. I really wish there was a ability that helped your movement speed on land, but unfortunately the developers haven't seen fit to put that in any of the games. I don't know if I'll actually be able to hit it like this. No. I might just go for draw slashes. It takes enough thunder damage that should be decent anyways. This is actually something I haven't really ever done, is try to cut the tail with any sort of melee weapon. Well, other than the lance, which it's super easy to cut it with a lance. But otherwise, the beard takes probably the most amount of raw damage. I think it takes 40% when it hasn't been cut yet, or after it's been cut. It takes 60% when it's full. See if we can block this scream here. He's gonna scream, right? There we go. Well, it took him a long time to do that. I'm not sure if I'm angry yet. Maybe I am. Oh, he's about to shoot water. I don't think you can block that without guard increase, which I do not have with this set, of course. Now, it's something I should probably be doing right away rather than just swinging at him is using the Dragonator. Of course, all the siege weapons are now recharged. I just thought of that now. Something you should do right away. If I can get my bearings a little bit. That's where you start off. There we go. And you can see I'm one slaw away from being able to fit in sharpness as well, but at least with the greatsword, it's really not necessary. The rate at which you attack is so low that it almost never comes into play. So we can drink a first aid while we're waiting for him to rise up. We might actually even try to aim it for his tail. Right around now? Nope. He stopped a little early. Get a cool third-person angle of me swinging at him. Oh, I think I missed. Although I landed that level 3 charge without even being zoomed in. That was kind of fun. And really, with Swimmer, it's like so much easier to get out of the way of his attacks. Just a little note, all the little parts of his body actually do take differing amounts of damage, so his little flippers there actually take a different amount of damage. Uh-oh. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to block this in time. Oh, I will. He's so slow. You should be embarrassed. You know, you're almost even better off aiming for vertical attacks than attacks directly in front of you, because the range for the greatsword is just so goofy underwater. His face takes decent damage too. Let's try and block it. That doesn't work. You need to have guard increase. But you can see if you're wearing Legicrus armor, I mean, it's barely even going to affect you. I have, what, 7 water resistance? Which isn't that great, but it's pretty decent. You can just pretty much level 3 charge this guy all day. He doesn't really do anything to stop you. Well, except for trying to shoot water at you. Oh, which I actually got hit by. Yeah, I mean, pretty much if you're anywhere within the range of being in front of him, you're going to get hit by that, I suppose. I'll get some air. You know, a really nice benefit that they give you in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd over this is you actually just have one blight resistance seed. And it doesn't give you any specific resistance, but it cures all forms of blight. So you don't have to carry one thing around. There we go. Now, it's probably more effective to just keep going for those level 3 charges, but it's tough sometimes to land them because he's so big. Whenever he does any sort of movement, he can end up moving to the side and you'll just be completely missing it. Yeah, something I wish he was better at was just doing melee damage. I think they should have made him a little bit faster, or have his melee attacks do more damage. Now we're going to try and get out of the way. I don't think it's going to work. Nope. And this isn't necessarily a high-skill Ceadeus battle. I mean, I've repeatedly told people, like, don't worry about him. I mean, he's more of just a punching bag of a boss. And that's pretty common in the series, actually. One of the last bosses in the original Monster Hunter was just a big punching bag. He's just a big dragon. All he did was walk forward. He never actually really attacked you. I mean, you're almost so insignificant to him, he couldn't even realize you were a threat. Although you could kill him. Just like you can kill Ceadeus. And I guess what made those other quests more of a threat, and actually there is one in this game with an online monster, is they actually had like a city or a village they were attacking. This time around it's just you, and there's really no downside to not really doing well on the quest. Okay, so if you can continually evade towards the camera, you'll get away from that. It's like you almost have to get nuzzled in like his armpit to consistently hit with this weapon. You can see he's flinching an awful lot though. I don't think this is going to hit. No. It's got such a weird angle underwater. You know what would be really interesting to see in this series? I mean, they have all sorts of different attack animations underwater, but what if when you were on land, they allowed different movesets? Like you can change your grip on the weapon and have like maybe a faster series of attacks, or something that focused on criticals rather than raw damage. Something along those lines. I think that would be really interesting. I can't see it ever happening, but that's an interesting thought. I'm trying to think what weapon actually had attacks removed, and they actually have only ever improved weapons. But say they had like a style where you could adjust the sword and shield so that you were constantly doing shield attacks and just getting a lot of blunt attacks off, rather than just having to rely on the two-hit shield bash. You could have a lot of combos involving the shield. That would be kind of cool. I would like that. Or maybe like a more offensive lancing style. I mean, lance is already really offensive as it is, but maybe something where, you know, you put your shield away and you're just holding the lance with two hands. Just a thought. This is what we do when we fight Ceadeus, is we ruminate as to the future of Monster Hunter. I mean, and this is pretty much it. As exciting as this is. Yeah, he actually doesn't take that much thunder damage when you're not attacking his large beard. He takes a decent amount in his horns still, of course, but that's pretty much it. I think what I would like to see from him is an attack where he'll actually, like, suck you in as he's sucking in water. And that would be like some sort of, like, instant kill attack. Something along those lines. Because there actually is a monster out there in Freedom Unite who can eat you. We might show him on the podcast someday. He's a fun monster to fight. He actually gives another use for tranquilizers, but that'll have to wait for the video. Well, the Dragonator's ready, but I've got him in a pretty decent stun lock combo here, so I'm going to keep going into that. Alright, last two hits me. Let's see if we can find our bearings a little bit. Looks like he's actually swimming down towards the Dragonator. That's interesting. Something I don't really make much use of, and it's actually kind of silly because I have the classic controller Pro, is the diving controls. I should probably use those more often. I always get confused which one's up and which one's down, though. Looks like it's just gonna kind of chill out. He's gonna surface up from down below, and this might actually kill him. I certainly hope it does. We're at almost 15 minutes. Surprised he hasn't died already. He gets a certain amount of life back whenever you start the quest over again, though. Here we go. Oh man, that's pretty brutal. You have the Dragonator sticking inside of him. Now, this is also a pretty early way of getting, was it Elder Dragon Blood? A Luminous Organ, that's pretty decent. How many carves does he give? That's a lot of carves. 6. Did I get? Guess I never even considered how many carves he gave. Well, in any case, that's it for Ceadeus. I'm going to go ahead and take some time off here and farm him a bunch. We're going to need his armor set and a number of his weapons for these bonus missions. I haven't gotten any Elder Dragon Blood yet, but that's okay. Okay, so that's it for now. Just going to go ahead and show off the other quests I'll be going through in the next update. We'll have a Raytheon and a Rathalos, 2 Diablos, Royal Ludroth and a Gobul, 2 Barioth, a Legicrus and a Rathalos, and an Ignactor and an Urgon. And that'll be with the 6 weapons other than the Greatsword. Oh, actually, hold on. One thing that I want to show off before we go is if I talk to the captain, he's actually going to give us a present. Oh, yeah. How cool is that? Bataroo? I never realized he had such a strong Japanese accent. I guess I never talked to him enough. Alright, and the Barbarian Blade is just a really good longsword with a decent water element on it. So let's see if we can show that off. So you see the damage is about the same as the Wyvern Blade Fire, except it has 10% affinity and a decent amount of water damage on there. Although it's got a pretty short green sharpness bar. Might want something with like focus. Not something focus, with sharpness or sharp sword on it. Sword sharpener. Okay, so until next time, which will be the last final update for this offline Let's Play tutorial. This is Social Dissonance, also known as Shepherd, saying good luck and have a good hunt.